This is Soph,
This is Rich
and we are
from
from across
across
the
the pond. I'm
pond.
really sorry. I've just eaten a biscuit before we came on, and it's all in my
Cookie
teeth.
people.
It's not a cookie; it's a biscuit.
The U.S., it's a cookie.
U of the K. It's a biscuit, a hobnob of all biscuits.
Oatmeal cream, oatmeal cookie,
Hobnob.
oatmeal.
How was your weekend?
You know what? My weekend was very uneventful. I had a lot of work to do. Got a lot of work done. It was fairly busy. How about yours?
I had an absolute blast on the Instagram live.
Yes, we did do Instagram Live, which was extremely fun. It was very.
I
I have
mean,
to agree. It was.
it went way past an hour as per usual, but we had guests. Like, we've decided that we're going to invite people if they want to come on our live when we go on Instagram live, because you can have up to 4 people.
And we got 3 guests on our show.
We had Salty Crutch, who was on our show a few weeks ago, episode 63, I think it is. He keeps telling everyone.
Tammy, the Cupcake Queen.
Cupcake Lady. It was her birthday, so happy birthday to her. She had a great weekend.
Yes,
and
yes.
then the the Resistance.
Mom.
My mom.
God, she came and represented.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's probably gonna be mad at me for this, but I think she's a little tipsy.
Well, I think she had a couple of glasses of wine, you could tell. But yeah, she was very pleased with herself that she actually managed to do it, because she's not technical minded, you know. I think she declined the request probably by mistake a couple of times. And then when you decided to go to the loo, invited herself in. So randomly, when you said, I'm just going to the loo, she popped up. And I was like, oh my God, Rich is never going to believe me that you're actually here. And then when you came back, she was like, I did it, Rich. I did it. I'm
here. Well, we had fun, though.
Mm.
I really enjoyed that Instagram live.
For anybody that didn't watch it, Uncle Fester actually came up with a great idea. Next time we do a live, we're going to do a quiz so that the winner can win merch.
Yes. So we are stealing his idea.
He readily gave us that golden nugget. We're not stealing it. He gave it to us.
Yeah, he did give us that golden nugget, and we're gonna use it. So we have a whole month to work out.
We haven't really figured out how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna do it.
Oh yeah, without question. One thing we won't do once we get our hearts set on something. Oh, we're gonna do it.
Oh yeah. All you got to do is give us a little seed, and we plant that bugger, water it, give it sunshine, and it grows, sprouts.
Yupper. Oh, I did get book 2 finally finished. I just gotta put the finishes touches on it.
Cannot wait.
Me too. It's a lot more
meaty.
Yeah, it's a little more reading this time.
Ooh.
Which I like.
Get in. Well, this time you're doing it from experience, because you've done one book already, so this is a walk in the park now.
Yeah, I gotta get my notes. They're laying around here somewhere. You know how us guys are.
You said it. But yeah, my weekend, Alfie came back. What did we do? We went to the shop. The weather was really bad, though, to be honest. It was pants, raining. So we just really went to the shops, got a new car.
It's supposed to rain today. It's supposed to rain later on today.
It's on and off, really, at the minute. This is meant to be August, the last month of summer, but not here.
Well, we got straight 80s the rest of the week, which I happen to love. That's perfect weather for me.
We've got straight 90% chance of rain for the rest of the week.
Get your umbrellas out. Summertime is almost over.
I never came, did it? All right, so serious Sunday.
It is serious
Serious
Sunday.
game faces, please, folks.
Yes, get
Serious
your
Sunday. And today we are asking, age, is it really nothing but a number?
in relationships.
Correct.
Contrary to relationships, friendships, whatever you want to call them, is age really age ain't nothing but a number? Is that true?
Like, for you, do you have okay, I'm gonna ask the question and then answer it straight away, right, before you give your answer, because like I was gonna say, do you have a age range, like an underwritten rule? For me personally, from as far back as probably when I came out of the womb, my rule is don't ever date, marry, go out with, see, get intimate with anybody younger or the same age as me. That's been my go-to rule. The reason
Younger or the same age? Why?
because any guys that are younger or the same age that I personally have had interaction with are always so immature, it is ridiculous. And let's not get it twisted. As I've got older, I'd say probably in the last 5 years, I've realized that people have an age, i.e., this is how old you are, but then there's also a maturity age. And there are few and far between guys that are the same age or younger. That's maturity age is higher, but they're not for me. That's just personal preference.
Oh.
Personal preference and life experience. That's why.
And this is just my opinion. I think there's stages in how men look at women. I think there's different.
How men look at women.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because now it's more or less maturity. It's more or less what comes out your mouth, what makes a woman attractive.
See, now for me, I feel like men, when they're younger, they want an older woman because they're like, "Wow, she can teach me stuff. I want to learn stuff." But then as they get older, they want a younger woman because she looks better on their arm.
I never looked at it like that, but that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I dated older. I dated either younger than me or older than me.
So you don't care?
I care now that I'm older.
You wouldn't date, would you date older now you're older?
Heck yeah.
Oh. But you date younger.
I wouldn't much date, like, I'm in my 40s now. I wouldn't date anybody like 21.
No, but we'd say like 35 to 55. Is that your window?
Yeah, I would say that.
Exactly. So therefore, it doesn't bother you. You could go up. You go up or down. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
I wouldn't go as far as like early 20s because I got kids.
You'd go up or down, but you wouldn't.
Their age.
You'd go up or down, but you wouldn't go to the extreme.
Right. Now, I had this discussion over the weekend.
Okay.
When guys were saying that, because I had to get some advice from other guys, and they were saying that, you know, most celebrities, women find older men attractive because of their status and what they can get out of that older man.
See, like, now
go for it.
This is the thing. Like, if you're a young 20-something dating a 50, 60-something-year-old guy, automatically you're after his money, right? It's always he's your sugar daddy because he must be paying for it. I'm not saying you can't find love, but that's automatically the label that you get and the stigma. And the same if you have a younger guy with an older woman, she's a cougar, you know, and is just after him. Well, he's after her for her money, or she's just after him for the sex. You know, there's always got to be a label on it.
True. But is there really such thing as age ain't nothing but a number, though?
I think it can be. I think you've. Hold. I think. Can you still see me? You're frozen.
Yeah, I can still see you.
Oh, there you go. You're back. Um, I think it can be, but society would deem it not.
Because this is how I look at it. I look at it when you're young, all you're looking for is TNA. That's when you're like a teenager.
TNA,
And
what's that? Tits and ass.
there you go.
Okay.
And you're not really thinking about their maturity or anything like that. And then as you get older, you start thinking about like what she can bring to the table to make you a better person. And then after that, it's more or less you want to find your equal.
So basically, I'm interpreting that you're saying from a man's point of view, age is irrelevant when you're younger and you're just sowing your seed. But as you grow older and you want to settle down, then you're looking at being a bit more responsible when it comes to choosing a significant other.
Right.
See, now I've always been taught that women mature faster than men, right? So if you've got a group of men and women that are the same age, a woman matures faster than a man. And I don't know if that has been implanted in my brain, which is why subconsciously I think, nah, you're younger. Like I remember going out. I'm not gonna lie. When I was single, I'd say probably about 5 years ago. I went on a night out. Anyway, this guy started chatting to me, and I thought, you know what? Yeah, he's cute. And then I thought, God, he looks so young. So I said to him, excuse me. I said, I was like 35 at the time. I said, sorry, can I just ask you a question? And he was like, I said, how old are you? And he went, I'm 30. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to stop you there because I don't date people or I'm not interested in people younger than me. And he just went, really? How's that worked out for you so far? I know. And I was like, ooh, wounder. But no, sorry, no.
Ooh, straight burn. Well, let me ask you a question. When you was talking to him, did he seem immature? Or did he
No.
seem
And it was only at that point then, after the next day when I was having a conversation with one of my friends, that was when they were saying, oh, that's when you have to look at the maturity level, not just the age. And I was like, you've got a point, but no. I look at it like this. I've already got one son. I don't require to have another one. I haven't got time to teach you. I haven't got time for anything like that. So no.
Yeah, I don't know. I look at it like this. Like I look at now that I do have children and my children are now like young adults, I don't think I could bring home a chick that's almost the same age as my child.
I get what you're saying. I'm not saying that it's not possible for people to genuinely fall in love with massive age gaps, but they got to, surely they must understand that there's going to be questions or they're going to get attention on the back of that, right?
Or there's going to be conversations that they're not going to understand
Well, yeah,
because
because
they weren't there.
let's be honest, what could you, I'm not saying you go, oh God, I feel like I'm going to get shot. I'm not saying you can't, but realistically, what would a 20-something-year-old have in common with a 50-something-year-old?
I do not know. But like I was saying when I was talking to the guys, you only see celebrities with that type of scenario. I don't really see too many. Now, I have watched some TikToks where people talk about how, you know, they're in their 30s, their lady is in their 50s, or they're in their 20s, and their significant others is in their 40s. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And it's working well for them. But that's that's very far few in between though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I do think like whatever floats people's boats, what's good for the goose ain't necessarily good for the gander, you know. what I like and what's good for me is totally different to what's good for you, is totally different to what's good for her, him, whatever. As long as you just do you, I just think it's sad that you have to, because people must worry about, let's take for example, and this is a real extreme example, right? Let's take Hugh Hefner. He was like what, 80 something,
Yeah.
always having girlfriends in like their 20s. Now he's a prime example that, to me, that was for show, and them chicks were with him for his money and he was doing it as a status thing. And I feel like it's people like him that give other people that are in big age gap relationships a bad name, because that's all you think about is extreme measures of people like him when you think about it.
Well, like I said, and again, he was a celebrity, and only celebrities do stuff like that, I think. Not all celebrities, but most celebrities that's in their early in their latter years, they seem to pick up someone
Yeah, but
younger.
look at Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas. She's
Yeah,
way
they got.
young. She's way younger than him, and they've been together for years.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it
Don't
doesn't.
you think? I don't know if it's the same in the US, but over here, it's more common for the chick to be younger and the guy to be ridiculously older. You don't see many young boys with old women. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
Hmm.
Well, here I don't really know the demographic, but you do see a lot of men with younger women.
Hmm.
But then you also, I think it's kind of in between too, because there's a lot of women who like older men, and
But
like
do
I'm a firm believer that women pick men, men don't pick women.
I know
So
you have said that before, but do you think like sometimes if there is extreme in age gap, people say, "Oh, they're going for a midlife crisis. That's why."
that's probably that's probably true. I don't know. I haven't reached my midlife crisis
Like
yet.
I've had a conversation. Sorry, father, I had to mention him again because that's who I've had conversations with. But we've had conversations before, and he said, um, "Why do I date black guys? What is the preference?" But his partner, she's 10 years older than him, and I just said to him, "Well, for you, what's the attraction with older women? Because a lot of men don't see the attraction with old women. It's what each individual likes, right?"
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, I've always gone for older guys, but not to the extreme, like I'm 20 and he's 60. I think the most age gap has been like 12 years.
I've dated older women. Um, Let me see. I'm trying to think of the age.
But
age.
you must have been younger, right?
Well, if she's older than me, yeah, then I'm
No, I
young.
mean, like, she's always going to be older than you, but I mean, when you were a young whippersnapper, then you dated.
Oh yeah, when I was young, I dated a girl that was in her 20s, and I was still a teenager.
See, this is what I mean. This is why is it a young boy's fantasy to get with an old chick?
Well, like you said, she was teaching me.
Remember, we had
She
that
was
comedian
teaching
guy on
me.
the
I ain't
show.
going front. She was schooling the kid.
Remember when we had that comedian? Well, you weren't with us, but the comedian guy came on the show. He's done a TikTok recently about being a young teenage boy and being with an older woman, and he had to call his mum and ask his mum to come and pick him up. And he said when he got in the car, straight away his mum knew what he'd been up to. Do you know what I mean? Um, and she was just like, "You're not going there again." Blah blah blah. This that or the other. Like,
Yeah, my dad didn't like it either. I don't know what it is with parents, but like I
because
remember
you're still a child to them. That's why.
my dad was like, "Ooh," I remember going to my dad's work, and I had a major crush on this lady that he worked with, and he was like, "Ooh, no," and she was just like, "Ooh, he's cute," and he was like, "Ooh, no, back off. That's my boy. That's my baby boy." And I'm just like, "Dang, Dad, really? You saw in that?"
But maybe he knew something about her that you didn't. Do you know what I mean?
That
Maybe she
too.
was a bad egg. I mean,
That too.
I'm not gonna lie. Would I like it if Alfie came home with an old woman? No. Um, what can you do?
I'm listening to you.
I'm just
So you're
saying.
saying you'd be so you wouldn't accept Alfie dating an older woman.
1 or 2 years older, I considered the same age, so that's fine. But if it was like 20 years older than him, again, I suppose it depends how old he is. But let's just say he was late teens, early 20s, and he brought home some 40-year-old. I'd be saying, what do you want with my son? He's a baby. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. He probably wouldn't bring her around.
Mums always know.
My pops credit because my dad was never the type of person to tell me who I couldn't be with and can't be with racially, uh, spiritually. He was like, I don't care if she's green with purple polka dots. That's she's for you, and if you guys care enough for one another, that's all I care about.
I mean, let's not get it twisted. I wouldn't necessarily like it straight away, but if she seemed like a genuinely nice person and her heart was in the right place and he loved her, then obviously I'd get my head around it. But if I sense a little whiff of anything untoward, nah.
Yeah, there's only one time in my whole entire life that my dad ever said anything about one of my girlfriends, ever. Like a negative thing. He was just like, she said something to him, and he was just like, I came home and he was just like, yeah, let me tell you something. I don't get in your personal business, but that one right there, that's a no go.
What did she say?
I to this day I don't know what she said to him. He says, but no one disrespects me in my own house. That
Maybe
one's
she
a no
maybe
go.
she made a move on him. She wanted you to get to the older version.
Well, we will never know. But I know one thing. I broke up with her the next day because me and my dad tied her two things. I was like, yo, what'd you say to my dad? But I was young then. She was older than me. So I was just like, what you say to my dad? I know you
See,
did.
like I used to have an aunt. She's not with us anymore, but she was obsessed with young men. Like she was like in her 50s and they'd be like in their 20s and she'd be like, oh yeah, look at him, blah blah blah. I needed this. And I'd be like, no, just no. It's just no.
No, she had
Like
that young
funnily
guy.
enough, anyone who knows me knows I'm the biggest Sex and the City fan going. I've seen it all a million times, seen the films, whatever. Anyway, as per usual, HBO, it was on repeat the other day, and I'm like, yes, let's get in this little Sex and the City flush while I'm on the computer. Like, had it on in the background. And it was the episode where Samantha, she's the one who always skips around. She went somewhere and got chatted up by an OAP, like a real old man in his 70s. She's in her 40s. And I'm not saying she's materialistic, but she went to say no to him. And then he basically made her an offer she couldn't refuse, basically. Where, oh, not, she didn't pay him, but he was saying, come to my house, which is here. I'm going to pick you up in this big car, blah, 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 blah. When she went there, he'd bought her a bag, some jewelry. Obviously he was trying to seal the deal, basically.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
she decided, oh, what the hell? I find him attractive. So what if he's older? Until the point where they went to get down and dirty, naked, got naked, went to do the biz, and he went to her, oh, hold on a minute, I'm just going to go to the loo toilet. And as he walked off, obviously his old saggy bottom, like they show you it, and they say, don't matter how much she liked him, and it didn't matter about age. Like he didn't act like a 70-year-old, he didn't look like a 70-year-old, and then it says, but he had a 70-year-old's bottom, and she couldn't get past that. And then it shows you this old man's wrinkly bum, like.
Yeah.
So I just think, even if you think you're okay with it, at some point, something's going to happen to make you, even if you stay, something's going to happen to make you question it.
Well, I think in any relationship, certain red flags will come up. I think it's up to the person to decide if that's what they want to tolerate.
Hmm. Okay, but if it was true love, right? Genuine true love, you're what, 44? Let's say you met someone next week and she was like 68, right? But she didn't look it, she didn't act it, and you fell madly in love with her, but then you only had like a couple of years because she's nearing the end of her life. Do you think it's better to have loved and lost than to love at all?
I don't know because if I wouldn't dump her.
I'm not saying you're dumping her. She's going to cock it because she's at the end of her days, is what I'm saying.
But 60 doesn't mean she's gonna die tomorrow.
No, I'm saying she's 68. So let's say she lived till she was like 74, you know. That's
Uh-huh.
only 6 years. So you're only have a minimal amount of time with her.
Well, love knows no bounds. If I'm like deep in love with her, head over heels in love with her, then I'm gonna stick it out till she croaks.
Okay, let me ask you this much then. You go out and
Croaks.
let's say you see this chick and she looks hot, right?
It'd be like the Notebook.
Yeah, but hold on. Let's say she looks the same age as you. You get talking. She acts like there's no clue whatsoever. Until you say you spend the evening together, talking, getting to know each other. You've connected, gelled, whatever. Then at the end of the night, you're like, "Oh God, sorry, I didn't even ask. How old are you?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm 70." Are you going to be like, "Oh," or are you going to carry on chatting and getting to know her?
I'm gonna carry on and chat and get to know her. Because the simple fact of the matter is that just shows you that age really doesn't matter. Because if I'm talking to her and her maturity levels is up there with mine,
But
and
say the boot's on the other foot then, but you're 44, she looks older, she looks great, you get on, and then she says, "Oh yeah, but I'm 25."
the same thing. I don't know if I at 25 I would tell her we could possibly just be friends then because like I said, it'd be hard for me to say no, I wouldn't want to be a friend with her. Like, you know what
But
I
then
mean?
how can you just be, say you fell in love with her, true love, love at first sight, whatever you want to call it.
Then again, then age would have to go out the window.
See, so that defines what you just said when you said your age bracket was 35 to 55. Because if you're going to see somebody,
But then I also said that I wouldn't go like early 20s because I have children the same age.
exactly, but then you just said you would get to know her if she looked
Yeah,
older and acted
but then I
mature.
said possibly as a friend though. I don't think I would date her. But if I'm like, say, if I meet her in a bar and we're talking,
Relationships can grow from friendships. So if you got to carry on getting to know her as a friend and then you fell in love with her.
yeah, well, we'll probably be friends until she's probably in her 30s. And
and then you'll say, "Okay, it's all right."
I'll wait till she gets to the ripe old age of, the age I would want to date her.
At age of consent, at least. Yeah, I just maybe.
You just asked that question for me. How about that for you? How would you feel if someone walked up to you and start spitting game and y'all hit it off and he seems like he has good sense and you go, oh, by the way, how old are you? And he goes, I'm 60, but he don't look 60.
Honestly, that don't bother me.
See?
Don't bother me that way. But if
he was younger.
Nah.
So you mean to tell me you hold a whole conversation with him?
No, because
you find him attractive and everything.
One of the first questions is how old are you? As soon as someone makes an inkling that they're interested, one of the first questions is always how old are you?
But what if you didn't get to that point? What if you were just caught off guard? Like you told me, you caught off guard, you're holding a whole conversation, and you go, oh, you know what? I am so sorry. How old are you? And he goes, I'm 25.
I'd say exactly the same that I said to that other guy. I'm very sorry, but it's not for me.
Not for you. After you done had a whole half the night conversation with the guy and really had fun, you would still kick him to the curb.
Yeah.
Wow. You hear that, people? She's like, she don't care. She had a good night with that man.
I told you, I already got one son. Because also the other thing you got to think about it from my point of view.
He's not acting like a young guy.
Okay, but hold on a minute. From my point of view, I can't anymore have any children, right? So I'm going to have this young dude who's got no kids. He's just starting out his life. What if he decides he wants kids one day? I'm going to fall madly in love with him. He's going to say to me, it's fine, it's fine. So I'll fall madly in love with him. We have a relationship. 5 years later, when he gets to 30, he's like, ooh, I think actually I do want a child now. So what? You made me fall in love with you for nothing? Exactly.
What
You
if
can't
you
have kids
say,
with
what if
me.
you say, let's adopt? Would you adopt?
I would, yeah, but sometimes that's not enough for people.
Yeah, they want their own seed.
Yeah, like he's just starting out his life. Like that's how I see it anyway. Everybody's different. I mean, I still think we had that one about men versus women. You know, I still think men should take the bins out and clean the cars while a woman should cook the dinner, you know. So I'm sure people will disagree with the fact that women and younger men.
Make daddy a sandwich. I love saying that. I love saying that.
See, now I find that really odd. Like, I've seen it in TikTok a lot where they do the whole thirst traps, you know, so they try and get that, and they're like, oh yeah, daddy, and I'm like, why are you going to call your significant other daddy in the bedroom? You get one mom and you get one dad.
Because they
It ain't
got because they got daddy issues.
it just ain't right, and you would never catch me in a, I know I like older men, you would never catch me in a bazillion years saying that
To a dude.
to
Oh,
a
dad,
dude.
bring it, daddy.
Wouldn't you find that odd if you're in the bedroom getting down and dirty and she says to you, come on daddy, jump on the bed?
I'll jump right up on that bed. Yeah. I'll be your daddy. Come on.
No, that is just so wrong.
It might be, but that's something she likes. So if she likes calling me daddy, then I'm gonna do whatever makes her happy. All right, then, baby girl, get on up here.
Oh no, that is not the one. That is not the one. No. Hey, I'm going to tell you actually, when I was 20, I went on a date, right, with this guy who was actually turned out he was 42 at the time. So he was like 22 years older than me. But we went on a date. I only went on a date once with him. We went on a date. He took me to this wine bar, right? And when he came back, went to the bar and he ordered whatever he wanted to drink. And the barman said, oh, what about your daughter? Does she? Honest to God, he was so eggy all night after that comment. It put him
Was
in
it?
a mood all night.
It wouldn't let him. He wouldn't let it go.
No, I had a face like thunder. I mean, I personally wanted to just burst out laughing. Um,
Why didn't you?
but this is the thing. I think, not bigging myself up, I've always not necessarily looked younger, but I've never looked old. Do you know what I mean? So, but he didn't look old either, like my granddad. But you know, obviously the barman thought,
I dated a girl years ago, and you know how like you introduce your new friend to like your friends or whatnot.
mm-hmm.
Well, this girl had a sense of humor, and we were all out. This was when the clubs was hopping here. We don't have any more clubs here anymore, but we so I bring her over because it was like a couples night. So I bring her over, and everybody's like, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you." Yeah, yeah. And they were like, "Boy, you look young. How old are you?" And she was actually like in her 20s, and I was in my 20s, but she was like, "Oh, I'm 19," and like everybody was just like, "What?" Everybody looked at me, and she's like, "Just joking." I was just like, "Oh." I was like, not, and to this day, I always wanted to see what was they going to say if she was really 19. They were probably going to look at me like, "Boy, what are you doing?"
But this is
All
the
my
thing,
friends,
like,
most
look,
of my friends are older than me.
looks can be deceiving. Like, I swear to goodness, only a couple of months ago, like, you know, I put a selfie on from in social media, you know me. Anyway, then when someone come round, I had no makeup on, like when they come round. So selfie is just like, I don't cake makeup on anyway, but you know, selfie is what it is. Anyway, they were like, oh my God. And I said, what? You're such a catfish. And I was like, what do you mean? Not being funny, but you look about 12 years old in person. I was like, thanks very much. So apparently I look about
So
12
how is that? How is that a catfish if you look like you're 12?
because I don't look like I'm 12 in a picture, but in person I look like I'm about 12 years old.
I would take that as a compliment. You go, girl.
Look at that. There's no
Oh,
lines here. A couple of dark circles, but no
I got
lines.
plenty. I got plenty of those lines, but I think I'm aging gracefully.
So the actual penultimate question to you is age. Is it anything or is it just a number?
I think age is just a number. I really think that. Just due to the simple fact of the matter is, I think now as you get older, it's based on the maturity level. Like I said, I look for towards now what comes out of a woman's mouth then, because I look at it like this. I don't wear a size 34 anymore. So, and I hate when guys go, "Oh, she's this and she's that," but you gotta look at yourself too. Because
Mm.
I mean, like, I'm not a mountain of muscle, so why would I think my lady has to be a size zero when I am nowhere near that? Now, if I was a gym rat, then I would want my lady to be a gym rat. But if I'm not, then why would I want my lady to be one? I'm a foodie. I like my lady to be a foodie.
Are you
If we're gonna
listening,
go to the
folks?
gym, we're gonna go to the gym together, big each other up.
Couch
You know what I mean?
potatoes you can apply within. He is all over.
Yeah, I'm in the average, yo. I'm in the average
But
Joe.
let me also just say this. Let's not get it twisted. I have dated older men before that are ridiculously immature, and it is a complete turn off.
You said it's a complete turnoff. Dating
Yeah,
older guys.
that are mature, immature. Like
Oh,
a guy could be in his 50s and act like a child, and I'm like, nah, that's not the one.
and that goes for women too. First of all, I don't date younger women because they just, I wouldn't say they got too much energy, but they just ain't on the same level
Mm,
as me. And then on top of that, I need somebody who's going to make me better.
mm.
Motivate me, make me better, that type of thing. Vice versa. It's a team effort. Now, when I was young, I didn't really care. I was like, yo, she got a big booty. I want to touch
You got
that.
the TNA. Let's go.
Yeah. Or she got a pretty face, but she can't read. I didn't care. but but now I look for substance. I think men look for substance now as they get older. They don't want no someone you gotta like babysit, just like you. You know what I mean? You want I like strong women.
Mm.
Period.
I find men want a strong woman until they get one, and then they realize they got up their game.
You think they gotta up their game? Oh, I'm down for a strong woman. I think a strong woman keeps a man on his toes.
What?
Mm-hmm. Strong women keep men on their toes. Real men. I don't know about these guys who want to be young forever. Because you do got
Mm.
guys out here like that, still
But
dressing
you've
like.
got chicks like that. I don't get this about women. Why do nowadays don't women want to grow old gracefully? They want to get work done. They're, collagen, Botox, lips, boobs, dress. Yeah, like, why don't they want to have enough respect for themselves to grow old gracefully, man?
I don't know. I don't know. That's something we need to bring somebody on who likes to get their face and stuff done. That'd be
There's
a good.
another show right there. Like earlier, we had the conversation because someone said to me, "Oh, how's the show going? How do you two keep finding things to talk about every week?" And
Yeah,
you said the same thing that someone said that to you, but that's how it works. Like we could be having a conversation, or like now we're doing a show about is age okay in relationships, and then something else will come up, and we're like, "Oh, there's another show." Like that's just how it goes.
that's just how it goes, people. But yeah, I think that to me, I hate to see guys who do not want to relinquish that young boy status. You know what I mean? Like, dress your age, I mean, everybody has a style, you know what I mean? But you can just tell those guys that just do not want to grow old.
Like they're in their 50s, but they wear their jeans hanging down so you can see their butt crack still.
Oh man, it's crazy. I just be like, oh, okay. Hey, to each his own, you know what I mean? But
Whatever floats your
um,
boat.
yeah,
But I ain't on that boat, that's for sure.
you ain't on that boat.
Mm-mm.
So I like that grown and sexy. Even with the women, I like them to be grown and sexy too. You know, dress your age. You know, no, don't get it twisted. A nice pair of tight jeans ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but it's how you wear it. If you're gonna
How
be,
you? But
if
see,
you're,
that's what I'm saying. It's
if
all
you're
about how you carry yourself too.
exactly, if you're 60 something and you're gonna wear a pair of skinny jeans with just a bra, oh hell no. But if you're 60 at something and you've got a pair of skinny jeans on with a nice shirt, jacket, or whatever, it can look fine.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. But like, okay, for instance, um, I went to the beach not too long ago, and I went on the boardwalk. I felt like an old man because I was dressed. You know, I had a nice outfit on, but all the women that were on the boardwalk, oh my god, looked sleazy. I was just like, where am I? Like, you know what I mean? But then I kind of figured, I kind of try to go back when I was a youngster, and yeah, that's the chicks I would be after, like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But now I'm looking at like, put some clothes on. You know what I mean? That's how people get hurt out here. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, we're the parents of half these chicks that was out there.
Well, yeah. But
It
like
was
you just
great.
said, you was their age and doing that at one point. So
Yeah, so I can't hate on them, but I was just like, wow. Hmm. So to answer, let's hear your answer. What do you feel about age is nothing but a number? How do you feel about it?
age is nothing but a number, but also maturity has an age as well.
Maturity has a expiration date.
Hmm. Um, and like you said, and we already said, each to their own. I still ain't going younger. That's personal preference. So
Me, it just depends. It depends on the person. It depends.
you heard it here first, ladies. Anyone, any age, couch potatoes, please apply.
Couch potato. Now, I ain't doing no couch potato because I ain't no couch potato.
But
But
you said you were a big foodie, so you know.
yeah, I like to eat. Yeah, I like to eat. And whatever happened to the day and age where women can actually cook? Now, I don't know too many women that can cook these days.
What you mean, younger women or
Yeah.
women your age?
No, women my age can cook, but younger women can't.
It's all different these days, ain't it? It's because all this whole, oh Lord, here I go again. Uh, like this whole equal rights, women shouldn't have to cook, men should do the cooking as well. That's why it's all turned around to that.
You think so?
There shouldn't be any gender roles, both genders should be able to, like, a man should be able to cook and a woman should be able to lift up the bonnet of a car and be able to fix it. No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't get these nails done to be lifting up the bonnet of a car to get oil under there. Thank you.
yeah. You leave that up to the man, huh?
Yeah, off to the garage. Come on, Mr. Mechanic, sort out my car.
Did you just say garage? Dirt,
Garage,
dirt,
yeah, the garage, yeah.
garage?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
All right, folks, let us know what you think. Is age nothing but a number, or does it matter?
Does it matter? Would you date younger
It doesn't
or older?
matter.
Or same age?
Or younger or older. What are you saying?
What
What
do
are you
you think?
saying, people?
Let us know.
Let us know. And if you haven't already, Make sure to press that subscribe button so you can follow us for more handy hints, tips, and discussions.
Yes, please press subscribe. Join us.
Fridays and Sundays.
I was about to say that. You took your words right out of my mouth. All right, then. You're going to hit us with the jingle?
No, because you haven't said this is Soph yet.
This is Soph.
This is Rick.
If you ready to go across the pond, rich and so. All right, now holla at me if you ready to go across the pond, rich and so. All right, now holla at me if you ready to go across the pond, rich and so. All right, now holla at me if you ready to go across the pond, rich and so. All right, all right.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
See
I like
you.
the way you hit that jingle. That was dope.
Jingle.
Yeah, I like the way you hit that one.
Alrighty. Folks, come back next Friday for more thoroughly entertaining viewing.
Yepper.
Yepper.